Hi, everybody. I was just supposed to teach a class on Zoom for a particular gym, and no one showed up. So I figured, hey, got this space kind of cleared out. My crash pad gone. And the camera set up. So let's just do this instead. So this is not really planned. I'm just going to kind of flow if you'd like to move along with me. And don't have a playlist really planned. It'll just be a quickie. But I figured, hey, why not? So let's go ahead and start in child's pose. I'll get the music going eventually. And I'm kind of short on space, so this was the best I got other than my son's super messy room that I was trying to use last second for the class, but figured this is a little bit better. So go ahead and come into child's pose. Big toes touch together. Knees can be all the way together, or you can take them a bit apart, or they can even be really wide out to the sides of the mat if you want a little bit more space for the hips and a little bit more room to drop down between. Walk your hands out in front as far as your shoulders still feel okay, and then let your forehead rest down. Just take a couple of breaths here, really filling up through the back body especially. Feel your back ribs expand. And then let's take 3 breaths together like that. Big breath in through the nose. And then open up the mouth like you're trying to fog up your mat, and exhale. Another one like that. Big breath in. And let it go. Last one, big inhale. And breathe out. Breathe in, come up to tabletop. As you do that, spread your fingers really wide. Stack your wrists under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Breathe in, drop the belly, lift the head, chest, and tail, look forward. Breathe out, round through the spine, come into cat pose. So on your inhales, come back to cow. And with your exhales, come back to cat pose. And just keep flowing at your own pace. Go ahead, and if it feels okay, close down the eyes. Anytime that we close the eyes, we're more able to really move within, right? We're less likely to be distracted by what's going on around us. Good. One more of each. And then when you're ready, come back to a neutral spine. And let's just go ahead and come into plank pose. Walk the feet back, still stacking the wrists right underneath the shoulders. Spine nice and long. You can always drop to the knees if that feels better, more supportive, right? Especially as we're getting warmed up if you need that. Or once we get a little more tired, that's always nice too. So wherever you are, take one more big inhale. And then exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Yeah, and we'll kind of fine tune this alignment in a second, but for now, just walk out the feet or shake the head. Just really get into the body. Good. And then let's go ahead from here and shift forward to plank pose. Wrists under shoulders, spine nice and long, shoulders back, core engaged, legs nice and firm. So in plank, just notice that the body is really long, wrists are under shoulders, heels are pressing backward. Don't move anything there. Hands or feet stay planted, press back, downward facing dog. And that should be a pretty perfect distance between hands and feet for you. On your inhale, come forward, hands shoulder width apart, feet about hips width. And then exhale, press back, down dog. Knees can always bend here, especially if the legs or the back feel kind of tight. Mine do. I haven't honestly been practicing a lot since we've been quarantined. I've been doing stuff, but haven't made too much time on my mat. A few minutes here and there. On your inhale, again, come forward. This time, let's exhale all the way down to the belly. You can always drop the knees down first. And then breathe in, just the chest lifts. Elbows squeeze the ribs, toes stretch back. Exhale, relax, forehead to floor. Curl the toes, knees or toes press up, plank pose. And then downward facing dog. Good. Breathe in, soften the knees, look forward. Exhale, make your way to the top end of your mat, however you'd like to get there. A bunch of little steps, one big step. Knees can be pretty bent here as needed. Chest drops toward the thighs, head nice and long. My hamstrings are always really tight, so a deeper bend in the knee is fine here. You'll still get that length in the spine, still get that stretch through the back of the legs. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms reach all the way up. Exhale, let's take a side bend. So grab hold of a wrist and move up and over towards the right. Inhale, back through center. Switch your grip up and over to the left. Inhale and lift. Exhale, forward fold. Good, halfway lift. Plant the palms, step back, plank pose. Good, this time you can lower all the way to the belly or halfway and hover chaturanga as you exhale. And then breathe in cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. When you're there, take a big breath in and a big breath out. Inhale, soften the knees and look forward. Exhale, travel forward, step, walk, or hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Let's move with the breath a little bit more. Inhale and lift all the way up. Look up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Breathe in. Plant the palms, step or hop back, lower down. Breathe in, chest rises, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's again, big breath in. And let it go. Inhale, soften the knees, look forward. Exhale, travel forward, top end of the mat. Halfway lift, breathe in. And breathe out. Lift up, inhalation, wall in the way. Exhale, forward fold, breathe out. Halfway lift, inhale. Step or hop back, lower down through. Lift the heart. And exhale, down dog. Take a big breath in. Exhale, open mouth, lower to the knees. Inhale, right leg goes backward, left hand reaches forward. Exhale, squeeze in. Inhale, length. Exhale, squeeze. One more like that. Breathe in. Breathe out. Extend and stay here. Or bend the knee, reach back and take a bind. Shoulders back, chest pressing forward. Good. Feel like you're pressing into every single fingertip, every finger pad, creating more of a base, right? So the weight's not all dumping into the wrist. If bound, inhale, stretch long. Exhale, left hand down, left foot swivels out. Lift the right arm to the sky. Right foot can continue hovering or you can take it down to the mat. Breathe in, take the chest up high. Breathe out, reach down with both hands and step the right foot to the top of the mat. Sink down into the hips and raise the arms. Exhale, sink. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, hands to the mat, back toes curl, knee lifts up, right hand to the sky. Keep sinking into the hips and opening up through the heart. Good, one more big breath in. Exhale, right hand down, step back, flow through a vinyasa. Maybe right foot stays hovering as you exhale. And then we'll make our way back to downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. And let it go. Full inhale. Good. Exhale, let's come to the knees. Let's though go ahead and walk the hands forward. Extended puppy pose. I'll scoot back a little bit. Forehead and chest drop down toward the ground. Arms stay as straight and long as they can comfortably. You can certainly bend the elbows. And then press up, tabletop. Inhale, left leg goes backward, right arm stretches forward. There's a wall in my way. Exhale, squeeze in, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale and squeeze. Inhale. Last one, breathe out, squeeze in. Breathe and grow long. Stay here in balance, right, with extended limbs, or take that bind. If grabbing hold of the foot, all of the lift comes from pushing the foot into the hand. So it's not just this act of trying to lift up, it's more a kicking away. And chest presses forward and out. And then release your bind. Release right hand to the ground. Right foot will kind of swivel out as the left arm lifts up. Left leg can stay lifted or it can drop down for more support. Let's inhale, chest way up into the sky. And then exhale, release left hand down, left foot forward, kneeling lunge. Breathe in, heart rises. Breathe out, hips sink. Good. One more. Inhale, really lift up. Exhale, hands to the ground, back toes curl, knee picks up. Exhale, left hand to the sky. And take a couple of breaths here. Really press down into the right hand in order to lift up through the left. Exhale, release left hand to the ground, left foot steps back. Maybe it keeps floating as you exhale. Inhale and lift. This time, knees to the mat. Sit back, child's pose. Maybe you take your arms back along your sides this time. Let your forehead rest on the floor. Take a big breath into those back ribs. And a big breath out. Inhale. And exhale. One more. Breathe in. And let it go. Good. And then let's just come to a seated position. Good. So we'll come into just the leg part of cow face pose. So let's start with, I'm trying to think, I'm backwards view. So we'll start with the left leg on the bottom. And the left foot will come near-ish to the right glute. Good. And then this right knee is pointed up towards the ceiling. We can stay right here, right? This is all about how it feels and not so much how it looks. So this is a great starting place. We can cross over if that feels okay. Really kind of squeeze that knee in towards the chest, and maybe you'll start to get this stretch down the outer right hip. Other really nice place to stay here. Or maybe you start to drop that knee outward, and as you do that, you can take that foot and start to pull it towards the opposite hip too. So knee stacked on top of knee is about as far as we want to go. Right, feet can be in pretty close, or we can start to take them out a little further, just depending on how it feels. Right, feet flexed. That'll position the knees nicely, and then sit really tall. Just let the hands rest down for a minute. Maybe they're on the floor, maybe they're on that front thigh. Close down the eyes and take a couple breaths. And depending on how this feels, you can stay exactly as you are. Or you can take the hands in front of you and use them to assist you down toward that top knee. And maybe you come to the elbows, maybe you lay fully on that top thigh. Just take it slow. And then if you've lowered it all, go ahead and start to slowly come back up. Yeah, get out of this however you need to. I always like to kind of lean backward and then undo them. Take the soles of the feet together. Hold on to the feet or the ankles. Either one is okay, but sit really tall. So try not to round through the back. Right, and that can be hard here, especially if the back is really tight. If you'd like to, if it helps, you can always elevate the hips, sit on something, the folded edge of a blanket or a yoga block. I didn't grab any props because I wasn't planning on doing this. Shoulders back, heart lifted. Knees not only pressing down, but get the sensation that you're stretching outward, like you're trying to take the knees to the sides of the room. Yeah. And then same thing like with cow face pose. If you need more sensation, go ahead and come forward. And do so with a really long spine. Again, try not to round or hunch, at least this time through. Feel like your chest is reaching toward your big toes. And then go ahead and sit tall as you breathe in. We'll take the knees up. And we'll come into Gomukhasana on the other side. So we'll take the right knee to the ground. Left can stay planted with the knee pointed towards the ceiling. We can cross it over, kind of pull it in there. And you can start to feel that sensation here, even if it doesn't feel intense enough or deep enough for you. You should start to get that feeling. And then maybe the knee drops down and out and we start to pull over. And maybe we stop right there, right? Any of these are a really great stopping point. Just going as far as feels good. Feet in close, or we can start to kind of inch them away. Yeah, flex the feet. And then wherever you are, sit tall. Yeah, and that can be with any of those leg positionings. We want to find that length in the spine, like we're lifting up and out through the crown of the head. Head in a neutral position, though. We don't want to lift through the chin. Shoulders back, ears back, right? So that we're not reaching outward. And then any amount that you need it, come forward through the chest, right? You can even try kind of slouching or hunching. It takes away from that stretch. So we want shoulders back, heart lifted. And if that means we just have to come back a little bit, not go quite so far, that's okay. And then lift up, undo the legs. We'll just take a couple postures down on the back. Let's go ahead and lay down. This is longer than I intended it to be. Knees bent, heels stacked right underneath the knees, arms in close to the sides. Let's breathe in and take the hips high for bridge pose. And maybe we stop, right? Maybe we don't lift super high. We can stay down quite low. Wherever you are, though, feel like the shoulders push down so that the chest lifts up. And that might mean wiggling the shoulder blades closer together, clasping the hands beneath the body. Big exhale, come all the way down to the ground. And then squeeze the knees up into the chest. Take a couple breaths here. You can stay still or rock a little side to side. Exhale, lift the head, tuck the chin, forehead toward the knees. Release head to the ground. Drop the knees over to your right side for a twist. Extend the left arm outward to help anchor that shoulder to the mat. Head can be really neutral, or you can turn over the left shoulder. Bring knees to chest. And then take them over to the left side. Right arm extends. Same thing over here. Head neutral or turned. Bring the knees into the chest. Yeah, and then go ahead and take the feet to the ground and stretch the legs out. Come into Shavasana. If there's any last poses here, of course, you can take them. Maybe a happy baby or a supine bound angle, Supta Baddha Konasana. Arms out to the sides, but a little away from the body. That gives just more space palms to the ceiling so that the shoulders can roll back and down and the heart can open up. But if you feel like you need to be more grounded, you can always flip palms to the floor. Take feet about mat's width apart. Same idea, openness in the hips. Let the legs relax so that the toes just flop outward. But of course, if there's any other positioning that you need here, you can always take that if you need to bend at the knees for support for the low back. You can even curl up and roll over to one side. Go ahead and close the eyes. And take just a few, maybe deeper than normal breaths so that you can begin to settle in. And then I will leave you here so that you can stay for as long as you'd like. Thanks for joining me today. Now